Hello everybody and welcome back to the Debellion. Firstly, I would like to apologize for no new video this month aside from this one, but there is a very good reason for that, as I've been hard at work on a project which I'm very excited to share with everyone today. As you're probably well aware, I am an Orthodox Christian, and I would say this past decade or so in America, interest in Orthodoxy has grown. At the very least, the church is something that more and more people are becoming aware of in recent times. Just anecdotally, from priests I've spoken to and stories I've heard, parishes are seeing more and more inquirers and making catechumens at a much higher rate than, say, 20 or 30 years ago. And in conversations about Orthodoxy in America, obviously saints are a common topic, especially local saints, whether St. John Maximovich of San Francisco, Father Seraphim Rose, Matushka Olga, who will be canonized soon, and of course Elder Ephraim. But a name I feel isn't brought up as often is that of Saint Sebastian Dabovich of Jackson in San Francisco, which is a real shame. When I mention him in conversation, a lot of people have never heard of him before. Saint Sebastian was born to Serbian immigrants, but he himself was born in San Francisco, so he was a very local saint to me. And he has the notable distinction of being the first American-born Orthodox priest and monk. Now, if you haven't read his life before, I highly recommend looking it up. He's a wonderful saint. He was a missionary priest who served up and down the West Coast, all the way from Alaska, Washington, California, even to Arizona, Illinois, where he served in the cathedral in Chicago. He was very prominent in early American Orthodoxy, and was a bright, shining beacon that came out of San Francisco. In addition, he was a very prolific writer. He wrote 3 books, The Holy Orthodox Church, Lives of the Saints, and Preaching in the Russian Church, which was a collection of his sermons and a few articles. However, his works have been out of print for over a century, now only existing as PDFs floating around online, or as quick cash grabs on Amazon. One particular edition of the Holy Orthodox Church on Amazon, in the reviews, someone says that Saint Sebastian's works are wonderful, but that this edition in particular was clearly a cash grab, as half the pages are blank. And I know the reason for this is because one of the PDFs that's floating around of the Holy Orthodox Church is about 190 pages or so, but the content itself ends on page 85. So there's over 100 blank pages appended to the end for whatever reason. Obviously, no thought or care was put into it, and it was just kind of thrown up on Amazon for a quick buck. You know, our saints deserve much better than this. And that is why I am very excited to announce on his feast day today, November 30th, which is Saint Sebastian's feast day commemoration, something I've put many, many hours into. Beacon from the Bay, the collected works of Saint Sebastian Dabovich of Jackson and San Francisco, finally back in print after so many years. I put my nose to the grindstone because I wanted this to be ready in time of his feast day to celebrate. And here it is. This is a proof copy to make sure binding and everything was right. But inside is the collection of his 3 books, The Holy Orthodox Church, Lives of the Saints, and Preaching in the Russian Church, which if you look in lists of the collection of his works, like if you look at Wikipedia, you'll find these 3 listed. However, not only that, but Sebastian was a prolific writer from various religious journals, such as the Russian American Orthodox Messenger, which was an Orthodox kind of religious journal in the early 20th century, but also his local newspaper, the San Francisco Call. Took me a while. I dug through various archives, scanned books, the Library of Congress archives, and as to my knowledge, I found every article written by Saint Sebastian that has been preserved, and is now included in this collection. In total, just a hair under 400 pages of his writings. So if you're already familiar with his 3 books that you may have found on PDFs online, I guarantee there's something you have not read before in this collection. As mentioned before, his 3 books here, but he also has a short history on the Orthodox Church in California. He was in correspondence with an Episcopalian priest, which several Orthodox saints in the 20th century were. There was this real effort to attempt mutual communion between the Anglicans and the Orthodox, and there were discussions as opposed to what needed to happen to make that possible. And he wrote several letters back and forth with an Episcopalian priest, and he wrote an article to the Living Church, which is an Episcopalian magazine, which I'm pretty sure is still in existence today. But he basically laid out sort of all the dogmatic differences between the Episcopalians and the Orthodox and what would need to be agreed upon for mutual communion to be possible. So if you're kind of ever curious about that, not just cultural differences between East and West, but actual real kind of the dividing lines between the churches, it's a really good read. In addition to that, his articles that he wrote for the Russian American Orthodox Messenger, in addition to his San Francisco Call newspaper articles. However, in addition to that, I also include some other newspaper articles which speak about Saint Sebastian. They either quote him, contain some quotes that aren't recorded elsewhere, or just sort of mention sort of his going on. I thought it would be a good sort of snapshot to include to show how prominent he was in his community. There's one article, it's an announcement for his niece's wedding, and he's officiating it as priest. And her fiance, he's going to be a priest as well once he gets married. And the reporter mentions how it's a requirement for a man to be married before he can become a priest, which obviously isn't true because Saint Sebastian himself was a hieromonk. I just find it funny. In one of the later articles where he's serving a liturgy in Nevada, one of the reporters describes the barbaric chants of the laity, which it's just an interesting snapshot of American opinions of Orthodoxy, sort of in the early 20th century. In one of his own articles that he wrote for the Russian American Orthodox Messenger, the article's titled "A Few Facts and a Bit of History," he refers to himself as a Native American and an Orthodox Yankee, which I just got a kick out of. It's just funny thinking of a saint referring to himself as that. As the Nativity Fast is upon us, if you're looking for something spiritual to read, his sermons are really excellent. And I also think this collection will be a great go-to for inquirers, since it goes to the services, the sacraments, there's Lives of the Saints, which is the gospel lived, not to mention his sermons, of course. And if someone is curious about the differences between higher church Protestants and the Orthodox, he goes into detail in his exchange with the Episcopalian priest. So, Beacon of the Bay is now officially on sale on Amazon if you'd like to pick yourself up a copy of the works of this amazing saint. Paperback is $26.98, and the hardcover is $10 more at $36.98. And I'm actually really pleased with the way the hardcover turned out. I was really impressed with the quality of it. And if you do pick yourself up a copy, I would ask that you please rate, preferably 5 stars, of course, and leave a review, even if it's just a sentence or two, because it helps boost in the Amazon ratings. And I'd love for Beacon from the Bay to make its way into people's recommendations, especially people who are curious about Orthodoxy. I've already had some people ask me about carrying it in their parish bookstores, which I'm really excited about too. This is something I've always kind of had in the back of my mind, but for everyone who is a patron of mine and has supported me thus far, will be receiving a free copy from me to you as just kind of a thank you for your support and as an early Merry Christmas present. I'm pretty sure I have everyone's address already, so it should be fine in that regard. This was something I'd always intended from the conception of the Tabellion. I knew that in addition to high-quality video content, I also wanted to put out writing and print works as well. And expect more to come in the future as well. I was intended to have published works and give them out to patrons and supporters, because you guys are really the ones who helped me carve out time for these kind of projects. I really appreciate it. It truly means a lot to me. Sort of a pipe dream of mine would be able to work on videos and published works like this full time. But either way, stay tuned for more on the way. This is something I really enjoy doing. And if you'd like to support me, links below as per usual. And with that, I would like to wish everyone a fruitful fast, Happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, and a blessed feast of Saint Sebastian. May this work be for his increased veneration, for the glory of God. I'll see you guys next time.